Hey, Kevin here, top 100 financial advisor, two-time author, one-time bestseller, and we're here to talk about the stock market. Yesterday, we talked about why I'm not real big into cannabis stocks, weed stocks, however you want to call it. I'm still not, but there are a few really smart ways or smart ways that I think that you can enter this market if that's what you want to do. Now, I will tell you right now, it is still a high risk possible reward. I can't say high risk, high reward. Well, today and yesterday we certainly can, but we never know what's going to happen in the future. So I want to give you what the warning and the warning signs are. Talk about what you can do if you decide to do it, but also know that it is not for everybody. I'm not somebody who really jumps into this, but if I do, there are two of the three ways I'm going to show you. Some things you could do there if you're like me, where you're like, I don't want to have to like chase the train. I'm not looking for a lottery ticket. I want to be calm, cool, and relaxed, and also still make money. I don't need to be worried and on edge about when is this going to fall out, which we saw happen in 2018. All right, so how did we get here? So the cannabis industry, the weed industry, really revolves around three big stocks. You got Aurora Cannabis, Canopy Growth Company, and Tilray. These are the three big ones. Back in 2018, these exploded out of nowhere because a few states decided to legalize marijuana across the board. It's not legal on the federal level, and we don't know when that's going to change. And when that changes, it's going to be huge. However, in 2018, there's a lot of buzz about it. A few states passed it. It blew up. We're talking, at least for Aurora Cannabis, we're talking like $2 to $5 a share, and it went all the way up to $129 a share within like 90 days. That is crazy. But just like a lot of these stocks, it fell off. So right around early 2019, February or so, it fell off the map back down to $2 or whatever it was, up until the other day. And it went from like $2 to $6, from $6 to $9, which percentage wise is huge. So I think it was up close to 60% today and like 40% yesterday. So we're talking a 90% jump in just 48 hours. Now, the reason this happened is because we expect Joe Biden to be president, and people are spinning that into a lot of other things, saying, well, if he becomes president, then he'll make marijuana legal across the board, and this happened, and this happened. That's a lot of speculation. I'm not so sure about that. But also, yesterday, there were 5 states, I think New Jersey was among those, that legalized marijuana in some capacity. So that is good news. There is some basis outside of, I think Joe Biden is going to do something that says, okay, well, I can see the stock jump. Now, do I see it jumping 90%? Is the company 90% better than what it was 2 days ago? I'm not entirely sure. I do not think that it is a great long-term strategy. And the reason I say this is, yes, you can make money. I will tell you that right now. I'm going to give you 3 ways that you can possibly make money and protect yourself. But because we know for a fact that this happened just 2 years ago, that people are saying, well, oh, you can do this. Oh, they're going to legalize across the board. Oh, it's coming. There's nothing you can do to stop it. It's going to be legal across the board. You told me that in 2018. You told everybody that in 2018, and it went up and then it fell. How is this going to be different? We don't actually know that. I think eventually it will be legal across the board. Are you willing to wait another 10, 15, 20 years, 2 years, 5 years? How long are you willing to wait and lose money by doing that, or gamble and make money now and hope that you parlay this and get out in the right time? We know psychologically, and y'all have done this before, because some people have gotten into stocks, made money, and then didn't know what to do and then lost it all. If you go to my Instagram comments right now, you will see people who lost 50%, lost everything, still holding on to it when it's not doing anything for them. Because remember, you at 129 in 2018, and now it's like, I don't know, $9 or $10 today. Are you going to wait? And wait for how long? So, there's a lot that goes into it. There are ways to make money. They may not be my ways, but everybody's personal journey and investing style is different. So you need to choose what works for you. So I'm going to give you 3 quick things. We might use a whiteboard. We'll see on some ways that you could, figure this out if it's something you want to do. Now, the first one is what's called pick and shovel plays. Now, I'll also defer to Courtney, the Ivy investor. She has a course. I'll see if I can tag her in it because she's really, really good at this, and she's been on it for quite a while. But pick and shovel plays are basically, look, I don't think that these are the best companies for me to invest in. They haven't really made money. They've crashed in the past, in the recent past. We're talking just 2 years. What can I invest in outside of that helps them? For example, my favorite one right now that is a pick and shovel, it has a lot to do with them, but not a whole lot, is Scott's Miracle-Gro. Yes, Scott's Miracle-Gro is up more than I think 120 something odd percent. I'm gonna pull it up so I can look at it here. Scott's Miracle-Gro is up 137% over the past 2 years. 137% over the past 2 years. Now, well, how are they related? Well, clearly they help you grow things, right? But they also bought a light company that helps like with the indoor lighting when it comes to growing stuff. So clearly they do soil, they do the lights, they do all types of stuff. I'm not a gardener, but they are in that space. So if and when we saw, again, additional 5 states that are legalizing in some capacity, you're going to need more stuff to help grow. Scott's Miracle-Gro is a good company to do that. Again, last 2 years, up 137%. For comparison, the 3 marijuana stocks, Aurora Cannabis, Canopy Growth Company, and Tilray, they are down, and Tilray is down 91% over the past 2 years. Aurora Cannabis also down around 91%. And then you've got Canopy Growth Company down 45% in the last 2 years. So I can still benefit if these companies continue to grow. I can still benefit by getting a company that is tangentially related, kind of next door. If they do well, I do well. If they don't do well, I'm gonna still be okay. So I think that's the safest thing that you can do. Clearly, you want to do your research and see what else you need to know about Scott's Miracle-Gro, but they've been around for a while. 137% over 2 years compared to where they are. I think that, I'm gonna do more research. I might go there if I'm interested to grow from that space. So that's number one. Number two is you can still trade an option on it. Now, you do need to understand the risk of options. We talk about that inside the Investors Toolkit and what makes sense and what doesn't make sense in terms of option trading. Now, because I know this, I don't know when the bottom is going to fall off of these stocks. I am very confident that it will at some point. It could be months. In 2018, it took like 3 or 4 months before everything just fell apart altogether. It could be days. I don't know. I do know, I think it's Aurora Cannabis that reports earnings on Monday. Earnings can be a very strange time. So regardless of what happens, I do know this, at least for the short term, these stocks are going to move a lot in either direction. So if you are someone who likes options or is curious about options, that is something that you could consider. And either way it goes, you can make money on the option trade and don't have to worry about owning these long term. Because when you get into an option, you pay a certain price and that's it. That's it. You're either going to make it, you're going to lose, or you can get out of the option. It's a little more flexible and you don't have to be tied or married to that stock, hoping that things are going to happen in a certain way. So that is number two. Number three is you could do what's called a limit order. This means that you pretty much put a bar and say, look, if this stock drops below here, I'm selling out of it automatically. I'm going to keep whatever it was I made. So I think what I want to do is pull up the whiteboard, give you somewhat of a visual of that. Y'all know I can't draw, but I want to show you what it looks like real quick and just give you an idea, just a visual of what it looks like, where you can do it. Apps vary. I know you can do it at Fidelity. You cannot do it on public, at least to my knowledge. You might be able to do it at Robinhood. I don't think it's that serious enough for you to go and get you a whole new account just to do this one thing. But most apps have them. So give me a second. I'm going to share the screen and show you what a stop loss kind of looks like. I think we've talked about it before, but let me share the screen right quick. And there we go. All right, so stop loss is basically, let me see if it's gonna let me draw here. Here we go. All right, so for example, let's say that ACB is the stock, all right? And let's say that, I'm gonna do a regular graph, and let's say we got it at $2, and we'll just put buy. All right, so you bought it at $2, the stock is going up, and let's say right now it's at 100, just to make the math easy. You could say, well, I want a stop loss, at $80. This means that if this stock ever acts up and it goes to $80, you'll sell out and you will automatically make a $78 profit. That's $80 minus $2. And you're good because it could just do this and you avoid the majority of that loss. You only took really from here to here was the money that you lost. Now, the problem is, well, as the stock continues to grow, do you move that stop loss order? At what level do you put it at? Do you put it at $5? Do you put it at 80? Where do you put it? That's all a risk to you. But that's another way to say, look, if it doesn't go the way I need it to, at least I have this stop loss here. Now, you also need the stock to go up. There's no guarantee that it's going to go up either. But again, over the past 2 days, it's up 90%, or 95% or so, at least for Aurora Cannabis. And we'll see where it goes over the next few days. So I'll be tracking it. Again, I am not a super fan of cannabis stocks, and I'm probably not going to be that way until I see more proof and more viability financially for the companies. Y'all know how I operate. It's the beat of my drum. That ain't what everybody has to do. There are plenty of people making money in plenty of other ways. And that's fine. You want to have multiple perspectives. But from my perspective, of someone who's seen, actually evaluated the money from millionaires, the way I've made wealth this year when everybody else was losing, taking a big swing on companies that, don't have all the backing in the world isn't the best situation. We saw this so many times. We talked about Kodak before, where they got this loan. They thought this was going to happen because of COVID-19. Shot up 26%. Nothing happens. We saw it when Black Lives Matter was at its height after the death of George Floyd. Companies like, I think it was not One United, but Carver Federal Bank, United One Media, I think was the name of it. It popped up because it was a Black-owned, publicly traded company, shot up hundreds and hundreds of percent, and then next few days it fell off. Now, at least these companies do have some state backing, 5 states adding some laws to the books to make marijuana legal in some capacity. That is good. There is a reason for these companies to grow. 90% is a lot, but maybe 10 or 15%, or maybe 20. I'll give you 20, but 90% is a lot. So we'll see what happens, but I don't think it's sustainable. It's anytime you see something jumping 40, 50% in a day, that's not sustainable. It's really not. Like, realistically, it's not. Tesla don't do that. And Tesla's off the chain, and they doing a lot, but Tesla don't jump. I mean, think about it. Tesla's up like 400% this year. This Aurora Cannabis is jumped up more than 40% in 2 days. That means in the next 2 weeks or so, it would have, if it stays the same, it'll grow just as fast as Tesla did in an entire year in 2 weeks. That's not super realistic. And Tesla's legal in all 50 states. Marijuana is not. So just put those two things into context. But if you're looking to do it, or if you're, you don't want to miss out, which is some people like, I don't want to miss out on this. I lost money before. Kind of figure out what you want to do. Those are 3 options, or 3 choices you may want to consider. You cannot do this and be fine. You don't have to hop on every hot trend to make money in the stock market. You don't. So I want to throw that out there too. But you can consider options. That's I'm like 80% that I'm probably gonna look at some options on Monday, depending on how things look for the entire market. We'll see. At least at this point, time of this recording, we still don't have a confirmation on who the president is. That could also shape the market. We also hit record number of coronavirus, so we'll see there. So an option trade might make sense for you depending on where you are. There is risk and other things you want to consider. You could do a stop loss where you get in and you've already put that bar to protect you, so you kind of guarantee yourself some profit if it continues to grow. It's a big if there. Or you can consider a pick and shovel play and say, look, I'm gonna get Scotts Miracle-Gro or something like it. That's not the only company out there, but that's the best one I quickly found that can, if they do well, Scotts Miracle-Gro does even better. If they don't do well, I'm still all right. So it's something that you could consider there. All right, so that is it for me. I will talk to you guys later. Make sure you hit the share button, like, subscribe on all the socials that you may be watching this. All right, talk to you guys later.